right, and welcome in. This is the Theta High Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 3. It is week 12 of the 2023 season, and I've got two very special guests with me this week. I've got Sam, who y'all have seen before, but we do have one-time former champion Daniel McElhannon joining us this week. Very excited to have him here because I know he's got a lot of thoughts that I'm excited to hear. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. Has Sam actually been on the podcast yet? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe not this one. The other one.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, the other league. That's a great way to start.
That's a great segue. Yeah.
Gold versus the THCCL. I love what we got here. I love our drafts. I love our people. I love the divide that we had in the house when we were growing up and where I fell on this whole Theta High thing. And I think I'm proud of myself, and I'm not proud of this record that I brought onto this league this year, being 4-7 right now. I'm pretty upset about that. I don't think I did very well at the draft. I'll be forthcoming. Got a little baked, forgot to bring my Microsoft Surface Pro out there and dropped it off my phone. But there were some other distractions on the draft. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Some other distractions. So there was plate, and there was a whole bunch of plating that really distracted us from looking at the best players available and just fucking running up the count. So I'll save some thoughts for later. I'm very happy. Thanks for having me. It's great to see you guys. Great to talk to the league.
Good to have
Awesome.
you, Sam. Since it is your first time on the Theta High Pod, how you doing?
I didn't mean to out you like that, Herman.
No, Daniel added me as well. Don't worry.
No, I'm doing good. Just prepping for Thanksgiving. So, but happy to see y'all. Even though we're probably all within 20 miles of each other. It's good to see y'all
right now. Yeah, maybe a little more. You're Northwest Atlanta, right? D-Mac, Etowah.
Woodstock, yeah, we're in Woodstock right now, downtown Woodstock. Went to dinner at this place called Royale. It was lovely. Jada didn't have a good time. I don't know. She's got some stuff going on. She got a little thing and probably shouldn't be hearing this, but it's a private podcast. A little panic attack happening. But she's hanging with the parents. Like I said before, you hopped on Herman, Samson. They came. Patrick Farrell had a wedding here about a month ago, and Sam's gift to them to sleep here was a couple of long stogies, and I got to light that before we came up here with my parents. Ever since my dad retired, we've been having a good bit of fun together.
That's
really cool. He would be a lovely league member. He would love this league.
Well, we might have an opening.
Shoot, he might be interested.
Well, we'd have to switch the rivalries around, get Daddy Mac and Danny Mac.
I wouldn't want him at the draft. That's the only thing.
But
all right, so usually, we play a game. We like to play a game around here called Two Studs and a Pud. We'll probably just start off with that. D-Mac, do you know the rules? You know how this game works? All right, we had technical difficulties. As you can see now, we got tall, skinny version of D-Mac, but we're back. We're good. Sam, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah. Welcome back, TikTok D-Mac. So we'll go with my first stud matchup is going to be my matchup against Donan. I think my team has been in free fall, and this is a make or break time. If I lose, I think I'm out of the Royale. But if I win, I'm back in. So this is my stud matchup, even though, I have some roster adjustments to make since the Mark Andrews injury and free agency.
Yeah, this is the one league I don't have him. Maybe because you drafted for me in the other leagues, but that was a brutal injury. Yeah, that sucks. I think you might be okay. Looking at this, you got the highest points scored of the 4 of us that are tied at 6 and 5. So even with an L, you've got a pretty good buffer.
Yeah, but I can't lose this week.
Just gonna back your way into the Royale.
Who drafted for Dan? I can't remember. Was it actually Dan?
It was Kramer.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
wow. I forgot it was Kramer.
I kind of thought it was Dan, and I was thinking about that today. Like, you know, uh, and makes a bunch of moves throughout the season. He kind of just like lets the roster ride. So, I mean, if I'm gonna hop in, I'd say two studs and a pud. One stud is Kramer for Dan this season, being 9-2. I've got to match up with him, and I think this matchup this week is Chase has described it to me is that 8 losses in a 6-man league going to the playoffs, or a 12-man 6 going into the playoffs is kiss of death is 8 losses. I'm sitting 4-7. I'm not happy about it. I'm excited about the matchup. I don't know, Dan. I love you, man. It's been a while since I've seen you. I don't know that you've really done all that much this season to
Shots
maintain your
fired.
But I congratulate you in the position that you're in. You're popping off every week, back-to-back top scorers. I was so fucking mad 2 weeks ago when we did play, and I put up the second highest score in the league, and I lost to you. So hats off to you, man. Maybe you have made some good moves. Maybe you haven't, but you're in a good position.
No, I was just looking at Dan's draft recap and looking at his team. It's for the most part, it's the same. So I think this one goes out to the proxy drafters out there this season.
Yeah, let's keep it going around the horn because my stud was going to be Paul Corson because somehow I am above 500, tied with Sam for 4th place, currently sitting in, I guess technically I'm first out of the Royale right now, but I get to play Will this week, which is an automatic W. So I think I might be in the Royale somehow with this PC drafted team. I had a name change and a picture change. Shout out my wife Emily for the inspiration. She's like, you need to make a BD joke and get that guy Wood on there. So shout out Paul Corson. And I might be breaking news right now, but I got a text from an insider in the league that said Paul Corson is a yes. If we
He's engaged, right?
If we want to offer him the 12th spot, if Will does leave, Paul will accept it.
Oh, breaking news.
Breaking
news.
So maybe we could debate about that, put it to a vote or whatever, but I got some insider information that he is interested.
I'd welcome Paul with open arms. I would hate to see Will go, being such a critical player in the mission of our league and all those drafts. He's brought so many good things to us, so much joy, those brownies. So, I mean, Will, I will say I did bring up a list before this started. This is what I did throughout the day. And you were one of my worst losses this season, sir. You fucking barely set your lineup. I don't even think you set your lineup last week. I didn't want you to set up this week because you're playing Herman, and he is one of my competitors for this last playoff spot.
You lost to Will?
I lost to him in like week 2 or week 3 by 1.3. I lost to Herman by 1.05. I lost to Tommy by 2.35. I've had 3 losses this season under a 2.5 point spread. I am about net neutral with 0.4 points against. Last week I had more points for than the leader in the league, but he put up a nice last week appearance. I don't know, man. Fantasy defense is crazy. I'm not happy with this position I'm in, but I do love this league, and I do not want to abandon it like one of the people that I'm talking to here right now.
Were you looking at me?
He knows who he's talking to. It breaks my heart, but I'm not going to force someone to be here if they don't want to be. We'll handle that in the off season, but just wanted to let people know that
I do love PC. He's a good dude. I mean,
he got good draft.
He was a good time. We missed you.
I felt bad.
I was pissed that you weren't there. I didn't know you decided not to go because of your whole other league that you put a little. I
had prior obligations.
Ours. But yeah, PC was a good sub.
Yeah, I felt bad because we kind of hazed PC. He ended up being Beer Bitch and the national anthem, sign language artist.
Oh, you made him sign my national anthem?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that story.
I thought we sent it. I'll send it again.
No, I haven't seen that. I don't need to watch myself sing. I already listened to it enough. All right, Sam, who's your number 2?
My second stud matchup is going to be Tommy versus Marco. Looking at the projected totals, that's the closest spread that we got going into these next 5 days of football. So, I mean, Tommy, he hates his team, but somehow he just keeps clawing his way up. But I feel like Tommy always says he hates his team after the draft.
He just likes complaining, yeah.
But I think the Tommy Marco matchup will be good. The loser is most assuredly probably out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Herman, what have you looked at your matchup this week? Will does not have a quarterback in. He has 2 open bench spots.
Don't tell him.
I am grabbing my phone. Oh, I'm fucking videoing off my phone because of connection issues. This guy needs to get he needs to get quarterback in there. I don't want you to just get a freebie. Like, this is almost like giving you a grant to the playoffs.
This gives me the Royale, yeah.
Yeah, this is not right. I don't like it.
Yeah, I wonder who set up the schedule so that I get to play Will twice. That's really nice, whoever did that.
Yeah, why do I have to play Dan last week or 2 weeks ago? Now I'm playing him this
Dude,
week.
any other year, you would have been stoked to play Dan twice at the end of the year.
That's true. I won't argue that.
It is weird. The back-to-back, I didn't realize that. I need to look at the schedule better next year. I was, absentee this year.
There was 1 week in between. So who did I beat last week? It was Greg. That's why I'm on this podcast. Greg, you had a
Shout out
sorry
Greg
ass
for
team.
tanking so we can get D-Mac on here for the hot takes.
Yeah, Mr. Just Giggles. I mean, if I'm looking at all of our teams, I will say, Tommy, you should have changed your name a long time ago. Tanks, you dropped Bigsby a long
Y'all didn't like my
ways
Tanks
back.
joke in the group chat.
I thought it was funny. It took me a second. I know Tank Dell's been a stud lately.
My Tank.
Data's got Tank Dell on her team. Chase was playing me in a different league and had Tank Dell pop off against me. So, yeah, you're the real tank of the league. Tommy does not have a proper name, but I was going to say, Kyle Hot, I feel like you've been cooling down. You're not so hot anymore. PCD, more like BD energy. Herm, I think you've got a good shot. Kevin, Mr. Mohammed, Isaac might not have been the best drafter for you. Maybe he's a pud, but I'm glad you're down with me sitting at 4-7. It feels good because you've been a stud in the league. It does feel like the league is just a little bit backwards this year with the top and the bottom, but
I do think it's between Ryan and Dan, which is an insane thing to say.
Yeah. Hopefully I can make it to the Royale. I think I can get a couple of wins in the Royale.
Yeah, right now, looking at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. How many times has Kevin won? Twice? 5, 6, 7, 8 championships are currently in the Sacco bottom 6. The league is upside down.
Yeah, there's 4 of us sitting 4-7.
Yeah.
And it does say next to Will's name, he's already eliminated from playoff contention. I was looking today. I was trying to draft our league into like a playoff percentage calculator because I don't think ESPN calculates that we actually have 6 teams making the playoffs.
Not correctly, no. We have to fudge the numbers.
Yeah, so, I mean, it said I have about a 10% chance. I think I have to win every single game. And I think that's for Tommy and Kevin, too, is like we got to win out.
So you have an analytics guy? You got Chase crunching the numbers for you and saying 8 is the point of no return?
Yeah, I trust that man. I trust him.
All right, Sam, who's your pud?
My pud matchup is again Tommy versus
What?
Yeah, Marco, because the loser becomes the pud. They're just automatically in the Sacco, I think. So that's
They're
my
joining
pud
Will.
matchup.
That's our second guaranteed pud.
I think so. Yeah, what's the reverse on that analytics, D-Mac? It's 8 wins to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
What's
what do you need? What do you need to make the Royale?
Usually you can be around 7 wins to get in. So I think that's 7-7. We have 14 regular regular season games. Jesus Christ. So you don't want to go 6-8. You want to go 7-7 to have a shot, and then 8-6 is usually you're in. So there's
Yes.
4 6-win teams right now. You need to get 2 of the last 3.
Yeah. So the loser of Marco Tommy then only gets like a potential of what, 6 wins?
Yeah.
They're
Who's Kevin?
toast.
Oh, Kevin's
Yeah.
against Kyle.
That's an elimination game. If it's Tommy versus Marco,
It
Yeah.
is.
that's an elimination game.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why it's my PUD matchup. See, I did my homework before class and during class.
I think we all 3 did. All right, D-Mac, who's your pun?
I'm looking for more puds. What can I say? There's a lot of puds around here. I mean, I don't know. This probably isn't valid. Yeah, it is. Marco, I don't know what the fuck you do all season. You got 58 moves. Like Dan is in first with 10. That's 5 times the moves. You do weird shit. You stack like your bench with like 3 or 4 of the same type of player. I don't know. You've been in the league what now? Like 3 years, 4 years?
Or not?
Yeah.
Has he made the playoffs?
I don't think.
Yikes.
I don't think he has. There was definitely a running narrative for a while. I don't want to speak out of turn. Maybe Marco, like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what we get wrong. I don't think he's ever made playoffs.
Yeah, so all those roster moves you're making, I'd say hold off, think a little bit, soak it all in, play week to week. You're doing all right. You do. I mean, I would be frustrated if I was you 4-7 and you have more points for than against. There's close matchups every week, but yeah, I
It's
love
gotta
your
be
draft.
it's gotta be the anti-kicker strategy, right? He's
Yeah,
missing
that's
out
what I was
on
just checking. I was just looking up on
6
my
to
phone.
20.
He doesn't have a kicker. He never has a kicker till like
He
12
never
o'clock
has
on
it's in
Sunday.
protest.
Jesus
Oh, is
Christ.
that what
Yeah,
it is? He's doing a silent protest every week that we're just not noticing.
I don't know, I guess so.
He needs to do like a hunger strike or something, or just play the whole season with no kicker if he doesn't want kicker.
So Herman, you had Andrews, Mark Andrews.
Not in this league, but
I
Sam
have
drafted for me in another league, and then the league I'm in with Sam, I had him, and then I drafted him in the league I run for Emily, so I had him everywhere, and it's bad because that was kind of one of those positions where you're like, I don't need a backup, and now it's bad.
Yeah.
The tight end market this season is terrible.
So Sam, did you not try to go out for likely secure that bag?
No, I forgot to set waivers. Well, I sent Dan a friggin' trade. Daniel Besikrin, if you're seeing this, please respond to my trade.
I sent him one too. I'm trying to get Pollard. He just won't reply.
I'm trying to get Trey McBride. I was gonna give him, I don't know,
Let us
whatever you
critique
want.
it. Tell us.
A lot of fab.
What are you offering?
Probably $20 a fab.
Nobody wants fab. Let's see. Let's work out a trade. Who's on your team?
I was thinking about giving him Chuba Hubbard or Devontae.
It's got to be like, yeah, Devontae, maybe
Or
Achane.
Pickens.
I don't know about Pickens. I don't know if that's enough.
But actually, I can go to my team and see what I offer.
Oh, great segue. While we're here, who's in your tight end slot right now?
Oh, Taysom Hill.
How did you do that? That's not allowed.
Oh, ESPN let me. Don't we have I think the commissioner needs to be on their game and put Taysom Hill on the band slot.
I already had a buddy, Will. I think that ruined our friendship because I woke up to a $50 waiver claim to Taysom Hill. I was nice. I gave him his money back. So, and now you at least did it for free. But what are we doing, guys? Like, I didn't vote for this rule. This is a stupid fucking rule. I would not have voted for this, but I wasn't there, so I can't critique what you guys voted into the annals of Theta High's rule book. But here we are. We got to play this gentleman's game of nobody picks up Taysom Hill. Although I think you're allowed to use him in flex. Just not the tight end spot, right? Or is it no anywhere but quarterback?
No QB. I thought it was no QB.
Yeah, it's weird because I think in Yahoo he's like QB / tight end, so you can at least play him as QB. I guess in our league you're not allowed to play him at all.
I think
No,
it's all right. I mean, the fact that he would sometimes be the quarterback and you would start him in the tight end slot and you'd be starting 2 quarterbacks. I mean, that might have been a few seasons ago, but
No, he did it this year. He's gotten like a 20-point game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be some restrictions on that. It's just how do you enforce it?
The rule you guys
All right,
voted in
all
was he
right.
has to sit on waivers. At least you didn't spend any money, but come on.
All right,
I-
here. Let me do this live.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Let me present.
I think it was. I guess I played Will in the same turnaround that you played Dan, because it was 2 weeks ago that I had to get onto Will when we were playing each other.
All right, let me know when y'all can see my screen.
I see it.
All right, here we go. We're dropping them.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, my sweet prince.
It was fun while it lasted. Chanu, you homer.
Who are you picking up?
Jonnu Smith, same game.
Okay. So Herman, how do you talk to Will about not starting Taysom Hill, and then he doesn't play a proper team against you?
Sounds like collusion.
That's the rules you guys wrote into the book.
I'm about to go look back at your matchup last week.
Well, the benefit to all of you guys is that Will is going to do this. Will is going to get Sacco and then quit the league. So then I get to be Sacco again. So you're welcome.
Not ready for that. I'm not ready for Will to leave.
It's going to break my heart, but there comes a time. All right, we're running long. I'll do my last PUD. It's me. I don't know how to say this. I shat myself today. Like really bad.
Damn.
I had to throw away my clothes.
Oh, wow. Your pants too? And your socks?
It didn't get into my socks, but it was
Damn.
everywhere. Shit everywhere. I was playing golf with my family. First time me and the brothers and my dad, all four of us, have played together in 20 years.
So the entire Rouse family knows about this?
Oh, yeah. I had to call my mom. And she's like, why are you calling me? Why are you not calling your wife? Because I didn't realize Emily was still home. Yeah, my wife had to bring me clothes. I had to shower. It was on hole 6. I had to shower at the clubhouse. It was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. Worst golf experience I've ever had.
Was it a fart gone wrong?
How much detail do you want? You want me to do the whole story?
No one's watching, dude.
So I had Antico and Tucker last night, and usually I like the Calabrian peppers. I can handle. It's fine. And these weren't even the real Calabrians. They were like Tabasco or something. They really weren't that spicy. But after I ate it, I was like, oh, my stomach hurts. And like me and Emily even talked about it. I was like, that wasn't real Antico. That hurt. Then this morning, I was like, fine, whatever. I took a shit when I woke up. We had 11 o'clock tea time. About hole 2, I was like, uh-oh, I kind of have to shit. But it was like, too far to go back to the clubhouse. I was like, all right, I'll just hold it, whatever. It's just 9 holes. And my dad's like, oh, there's actually a bathroom on 6. We'll just make it to 6. I was like, okay, cool. So we're holding it, but it sucked. When you have like a bad shit and you're trying to it's just like made golf hard, right? I was like thinking about other stuff.
So you're like 50 yards short every shot.
Yeah, I was just clinching the whole time. And then on the 5th green, it couldn't even putt. I didn't even make it to the green. I was like, uh-oh, it's happening. Like a little squirted out. But it was like enough where you could kind of like clean it up, I was like, all right, I'll deal with that. Like whatever. I did a bad job and I just like clinched really hard. I was like, okay, cool. I just have to wash these underwear thoroughly. But I was like, hey, I got to go now. So I jumped in the cart and I drove to the 6th hole, and it wasn't a bathroom. It was like a pump house on a pond. And I was like, oh no. Because when you're like mentally like, I just got to get to here and then I can go.
Yeah.
And then my body was like, yo, you said the 6th hole, like it's time. And so then I just kept driving. I was like, fuck. And luckily there was a porta potty like right around the corner, because there was like in a neighborhood, they were like doing construction. I was like, okay, cool. So I like kind of like crashed the golf cart into a fence right by the porta potty, ran over there, opened it up, and the lid is like spring loaded up, I guess, so people don't piss on the lid or whatever. So I'm like trying to hold it down and turn the door, and then I was trying to take my pants off, and it just happened. And it was just happening. It's like that scene in Bridesmaids, right, where she's like, it's happening, and just shit everywhere, like all over the wall of the porta potty, like on the underside of the seat, the underside of the lid, just like shit everywhere, up my back, on my shirt, my nice alligator belt, down my legs, shit everywhere. So I like threw away most of my clothes in the porta potty, just basically put my pants and shoes on, and then get back in the golf cart. And I like, for whatever reason, didn't want to like back up and make it beep. So I tried to turn and just like bam, like crash into the fence right when my family like comes over the hill. So I'm like half naked, shirtless, just like smashing into a fence, covered in shit. And they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what?" I haven't seen these people in months. You know, my dad's been looking forward to this for so long.
You hadn't fucking pied yourself until you were in the place where you had to get it done, and it happened there where you were like inches or feet away from success.
I was in, yeah. I think standing up and walking in there, kind of like I lost my like
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I was in there when it happened, and it just the close confines, everything about it made it difficult. I've never had anything, I've never experienced anything like that before. I've had little squirts, little accents, you know, but that was crazy. It reminded me of like Carl and Sarah telling a story, their baby like projectile shitting all over the shower curtain. It was like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, so my wife had to bring me clothes, and then I showered at the clubhouse and met him on hole 9, and we played the rest. But it was the worst round of golf I've ever played after that. I was rattled.
Oh man, wow! That is one of the best PUD stories I guess we've had on the pod. So.
Oh, a huge part. Part.
Another PUD note, man. Just my draft, just my situation that I've been in. The whole running back thing, being in the standard league, can be so rough. And I think this draft, I did not do a good enough job about stocking up on running backs. One of my draft picks was Rashad Penny. It was completely worthless this season. And then I had, Eckler out for 4 weeks. James Conner, I think he was out for 4 weeks. And then I was working with Rashad White as well, who has been very lackluster. And it's really hard every time I get reminded when I don't do like 3 running backs. And when we moved to auction as a draft, doing the 3 running back strategy is a little bit different than when we were doing, the snake draft where you're like, all right, running back. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, I used to have a rule 4 running backs in the first 6 rounds.
Yeah, and I like that. I think I picked that up from you. I'm not going to lie about that. And when I hoard running backs, I do a lot better because of the fucking injuries that fantasy brings.
I that 0 running back strategy, I think that's the move. I'm going to tell you guys right now how to win the league. It's what Ryan did last year. It's draft the good receivers and then just 5 mid-tier backup running backs, and every running back gets hurt. Backup running backs come out of nowhere. Like Sam has A-Chain, that guy Kyron Williams that I traded for that immediately went on IR for a month. Like running backs don't matter anymore. And that's kind of what I told my stud, Paul Corson. I was like, hey, all I care about is getting a quarterback and a receiver on the same team. And then he spent $130 on 2 running backs.
Yeah, I disagree though. I mean,
I think that's why Marco's never made playoffs, because he's a running back heavy team builder, which is the way it's been for 20 years. But times are changing.
It's because we always pressure him to get Joe Mixon, and then he ends up overpaying.
Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon. Next year, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna draft 3 stud receivers, spend $130 on receivers, and then just a bunch of $10 running backs. I think is the way to do it.
Yeah, but the stud receivers this year, like JJ and Jamar Chase, have been down. So.
Yeah, all of them. It's been like Tyreek and then everybody else. AJ Brown, I guess.
Yeah, so it's really funny when I think Will's draft advice to Lydia, who was his interim drafter, was to get Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce at basically no cost, like go all out on them. And they were both out the first week. I know Kelsey's come back and he's had a decent season. I think Kupp's not done very well. But yeah, that was an oops.
I didn't realize he even gave instructions. I thought she just drafted off like attractiveness.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what Donnan said Lydia was going to do.
Maybe he was just joshing. All right, guys, we've ran crazy long. I love seeing you guys. Let's wrap it up. hopefully people still sit here through the 40 minutes of pod that we just put out. Good talking to y'all. Peace.
Yeah. See ya. Don't
All
shit
right.
yourself.
Farewell. Have a good night. Smoke a little bit. And I got to poop myself. So love you guys.
Peace.
All right. Bye, D-Mac.